Hi, this is Jackie Mahaney with Everyday Woman. Do you remember at what age you actually started flirting? Maybe 12, 13? Do you remember the age you actually stopped flirting? Was it when you got married, got into a relationship, or you just never flirted at all? My guest today is Barbara Bellman, and we're going to talk about flirting after 50. Hi, Barbara. Welcome to the show.
How are you?
So, you're 50 plus.
Yes, I am. I'm 60 plus.
Oh, 60 plus. Okay.
Yes,
and do you flirt?
I flirt all the time.
Oh, good. I do too. We're all flirters around here. So, talk to me about why flirting over 50.
Well, your intro was so interesting to me, and I want to go back to that for a second. When you talk about, do you remember when you flirted and when you stopped? My grandmother, when she was 87, visited with me, and I had a friend over who was a very handsome man. And my grandmother sat at the table and looked at him while he was talking, and looked up at him with such adoration, wistfulness in her eyes, and I thought to myself, why, she's flirting.
Right, with your guy.
She was flirting. Now, obviously she didn't flirt with any intention that she was going to get the guy.
Right.
But she just found him charming, and in doing so, she became charming to him. Mm-hmm. You could see him physically shifting comfortably to talk to her. He found her fascinating because, why? She found him fascinating.
Right.
So flirting you can do at any age, and I think that any woman who knows how to flirt well is appropriate, is effective, is friendly, is confident, and anyone will find her interesting to be with.
Do you think that flirting is an art? Is it something that can be learned if you don't know how to do it the right way or appropriately?
Well, I think that flirting is actually a survival technique.
Okay.
If you look at how children are with their daddies, especially how little girls are with their daddies, they flirt like crazy.
Batting the eyelashes.
Absolutely. Well, their daddy's little girl. And I have 5 granddaughters now, so I can see it happening. Where if they want something, they know how to go up to my sons and say, Daddy, and they just use the right kind of voice. Boys do it too. Mm-hmm. They just know how to soften themselves to make themselves more approachable.
Right. So really flirting is just an endearment of yourself and to the other person?
What I think flirting really is, it's making the other person feel special and important. Mm-hmm. And, I mean, men do it for women, women do it for men. My husband, I'm now married. I had been single, and I'd been married and divorced 3 times.
Okay.
And I met my husband at a wedding. And he asked me to dance. And the first thing out of his mouth was, I want to get to know you better.
Wow.
Now, yeah, wow.
Yeah. Who doesn't want to feel like that?
Exactly.
You're special enough that I care to get to know you.
Exactly. Now, is that an inappropriate comment to make? To say to somebody, I want to get to know you better. You can say it at a dinner table. You could say it at an office party. You can say it anywhere. Who's not going to melt under the gaze of somebody who really thinks they're important and special? The problem with people over the age of 50 is that they start getting very self-conscious. Mm-hmm. Women especially start feeling like they aren't pretty enough, they're not young enough, they're not thin enough, and they believe all of those stories that say that men only want younger women.
Right.
Well, it isn't true. There are so many wonderful men out there. I'm not one of those women that goes around dishing men saying, oh, all the good ones are taken,
right,
or, men are jerks. They aren't. Maybe they behave like jerks sometimes, mm-hmm, but they aren't jerks. They're just people, and they are every bit as insecure as the women are.
Right.
They just show it differently. But men need a little bit more prodding sometimes from women to let them know that it's okay to approach.
Right.
If women could approach men sort of with, fingers or knuckles curled under, like you approach a mad dog, like, I'm okay, I'm not going to bite, I'm not going to hurt you, I'm just going to be friendly to you. It gives a man an opportunity to talk with them.
Right.
But women build these insular environments around themselves, and they put off vibes that say, don't even think of parking here. Mm-hmm. Don't talk to me. And they avert their eyes, their body language pulls in. They're not friendly.
Right.
And men who are over the age of 50 or 60, they're feeling insecure, and they're thinking, ooh, she looks like I shouldn't bother her. I'm not going to bother her. When you're younger, the testosterone will help you overcome all kinds of insecurities.
I will fight this battle. I will charge this horse.
Exactly.
Yes.
I will pursue this woman because they need that. I mean, that's how the human species is perpetuated.
Absolutely.
They'll overcome those obstacles. And a lot of women, when they get to a certain age, they start thinking, well, he's not rich enough, he's not tall enough, he's getting old, I don't want an old man, I don't want to take care of somebody. And they have all these rules and regulations. But guess what? As we get older, we're going to need help. We're going to need a little companionship.
Yeah.
We're not Demi Moore.
Right.
We're not. I mean, maybe you are.
Oh,
You're a beautiful woman.
No,
but the rest of us are starting to show some signs of aging, and it makes us insecure. So if you can have a conversation with somebody to make him feel like he's not going to be kicked to the curb, why not? It's not that you're trying to find a partner to marry. This isn't about happily ever after necessarily.
It's about building relationships with other human beings.
It's about exactly.
I mean, at the basic core.
Exactly.
This reminds me, yesterday I went into the gym to work out, and as I was walking in, there was a gentleman there, and he was holding the door, and he was a rather good-looking guy, but he held the door for 3 of us women as we walked in, and I looked at him and I said, thank you so much for opening the door. And he said, do you know how many women would actually get angry with me and say, I don't need this door open? And he said, I don't want chivalry to be dead. And I said, well, neither do I. And I said, and the bottom line is, I thank you for just being a kind person.
Yes.
And I think we've lost that so much in the world in terms of just accepting kindness from others without judgment, without criticism, without, like you say, insecurity of what do they want from me now, or expectations almost.
I'll tell you an interesting paradox. The best read genre is romance novels. And who is reading them but middle-aged women who are alone? A lot of these women are very independent, and they have put, again, this is this insular shell that they've created. I don't need to have you hold my chair. I don't need a man for any of that. Well, guess what? Men need to feel needed. Yes. They need to know that they have something to offer a woman, even if it's a gesture of kindness, of helpfulness. Can I change your light bulb? Yes, I would love that. That would be so great. Can you change your own light bulb? Yes, you can. I can change my own light bulb.
Well, why do we need to?
But
we can find a nice guy to do it.
If there's a moment, men want openings so that they can do something for you, so that they can still feel relevant to you. And when women shut them down to say, I don't need you for that, I don't need you for that, I don't need you for that, well, the man's going to think, well, I don't know what you need me for. Next.
Right.
And then the woman sits alone thinking, there are no good men.
Barbara, you make so many great points about, that if you are a woman and you're sitting by yourself and you don't want to be, do something about it. Or if you're a man and you want to be with someone, we're all aging. There's someone for everyone, but just making that effort is what's so important.
It is important. It's a mindset. You don't have to be alone. And I have seen time and time again that anyone who wants to meet someone wonderful can.
Absolutely. And in fact, you've written a book called Flirting with 50.
Flirting after 50.
Flirting after 50. Yes. But I'm 40 and I can flirt too. So flirt anytime you want. And people can get this book at Amazon.com.
Amazon.com, right? BarnesandNoble.com, Borders.com.
Okay,
yes.
Great. Well, there's some really great tips in here about flirting, and hopefully flirting will lead to a happier life for everybody involved.
Absolutely.
So thank you so much for being here. I'm Jackie Mahaney with Everyday Woman. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.